Hey guys, Teacher Mike here over in Taiwan, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about teacher burnout. This is probably something that I didn't really talk about before, but I think it's weird, right? Like people that come here, and it's a pretty easy job. You just have to be, relatively good health, 20, 30, or 40, and have a university degree to get the working visa. Or, some people they get married here and then whatever, blah blah blah, right? So. And they have a working visa here, and as long as you can speak English, pretty well, and you are from a native English speaking country, even not like there's some non-native English speakers, and some of them they talk their way into getting the same amount of pay, and it is what it is, right? I actually had like a Mexican lady that I worked with, and she's probably never going to watch this, but she has a master's degree in linguistics, I guess, and so she can teach wherever I teach too. So anyway, the point is about English teacher burnout is, people, they come, they work here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, they maybe even 10 years, and then they find like there's a point where they're just like, I don't want to do this anymore. And the reason why I was thinking about this is because, I have a teacher friend that I was teaching with yesterday, and we're working on, the phrase like, I want, I don't want, right? And then I ask her like, what do you not want? She says, I don't want to work anymore. And I was like, yeah, I get it, right? I think probably 9 times out of 10, if you're like in your 30s or like whatever, you're thinking, why can't I just fast forward to like being retired, right? Like why do like maybe if I saved up enough money or blah blah blah, whatever, right? And it takes time, it takes work, it takes energy, it takes if you have a business and your business is big enough, you could go sell off your business. But if you have a big enough nest egg, then if you're saving from when you were like 15 years old and like you're saving to your retirement fund, then why not retire when you're 39, right? So and people have setbacks. Sometimes they have things like divorce, parking tickets, stuff they have to pay for, right? I mean, we live our lives, right? And unless you're like a hermit out somewhere, then you're gonna have to encounter people. So that's what she said to me. I have another teacher lady friend who's going to be leaving my school in probably 6 months, and somebody who I was working with her like every day for like a month, and then like she suddenly disappeared, and she went to like some other place that has better pay. But here's the thing, guys, right? Like even if you find some place that has better pay, if the teaching environment is worse, then is it really necessarily worth it, right? Yeah, you get more money to like play with on the weekend, but you got to come back on Monday and they got to go do it all over again, right? So pros and cons. Maybe it's like a kind of a catch-22. So there's and then I had like this like 25-year-old who like decided like, okay, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore, and they just quit, and then they like went over to Japan or something, and it was good for them. So obviously they're kind of living their life, and I don't want to like stereotype too many people like on their 20s and stuff. They just kind of like say, okay, well, I don't want to do this, and I could do this later. Let me just do some micro jobs, just work enough so that I could probably go take a vacation somewhere. It's their prerogative. Teacher burnout, like you feel like, I don't want to do this anymore. And every time, there's some questions I get asked all the time. Where you're from, what's your profession, you have a boyfriend, you have a girlfriend, you have a boyfriend, blah blah whatever. And so those things, right? And I'm from Canada, and obviously I'm an English teacher. Do I get necessarily tired of saying that all the time? Maybe not. And sometimes people like when you say, like, because I teach online sometimes too, they'll say like, so they feel like you made it, right? Because it's like, it's really easier. They want to find out more. They want to say like, hey, no, can I teach online too, right? Because they're thinking like, I can just teach online from my phone or teach online from my laptop and like on a beach somewhere and like just be really relaxed, right? But even if you are doing some online teaching, you're still teaching somewhere, right? So, or like you're using your time. So I thought that that's not necessarily really a solution. I thought it was a solution before. I just, I'm just going to minimize the amount of hours that I'm teaching every day and then just go retire on a beach somewhere. But, you still have expenses to spend your money on. You still have to eat and drink and, have put a roof over your head. So, that stuff costs money unless you're, like I said, like living over in like a forest somewhere or something, right? What are your solutions if you have teacher burnout? Quit. Maybe you could dial it back a bit. They have this thing called like quiet quitting over in like United States, where people are like quietly quitting their job. They're just basically doing the bare minimum of the things that they have to do. I mean, you could go ahead and do that. You're probably going to be questioned like, why aren't you doing this, teacher? Why aren't you like filling out reports? Why aren't you, making calls to the students and blah, 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 right? But everybody has to find like what's in their comfort zone of the things that they can do in order to avoid the teacher burnout. So hopefully you can find that for yourself. See you guys later. Bye.